What's going on YouTube? V here. I'm not sure if this is gonna be as much as a market watch as it is me talking about the meta, and not only the meta, but what's gonna happen this weekend at YCS Pasadena. We're gonna talk about cards in the market, but we're gonna attribute them to the decks that are gonna be most likely being played, and I'm gonna be in the top tables of YCS Pasadena. Before I begin, I just want to say a quick thank you to my newest Patreon, Kyle Cloud. Thank you, Kyle, by the way. Appreciate it. If you guys want to check out my Patreon, information will be below. Check it out. All the stuff's on there. Also, we'll stay for the end of the video because I have a really interesting question I would love to ask you guys. And I would love to see your answers in the comment section below. I really want to know this question because I was thinking about it for a while, but I'll extend the end of the video. But getting right to it, guys, the zombie structure deck really hasn't had much talk, much hype at all in the YuGiOh community. But as you can see over here in the regional qualifier in Germany, the deck took first place. And one card I want to talk about is basically how, well, I'll talk about the card in a second, but basically how all these cards aren't really hard to get besides Ash Blossom. They're highly underrated cards. And I think one of these cards specifically, if not a couple of these cards, can go higher in value. Once again, this is just zombie structure deck. This is nothing fancy. Not long ago, we had YuGiOh players in the community, and I saw on Reddit, I saw all over the place, asking about why don't we have a cheaper deck? And my answer was, for a long while, was Pendulums. I think that's the cheapest deck we have in the game right now. It actually might be this deck right here. Once again, this deck took first place, undefeated zombie horde structure deck. It's a really interesting deck, guys. I'll leave the link in the video below if you want to check it out, if you are looking to play that, or you are looking to pick it up. But the card I want to talk about, actually have it up over here, is Vampire Fraulein. You can see already in price trends, it's going up in value. It's about $2 right here. And yeah, looking at all three pages, you're not seeing many walls of Vampire Fraulein. I mean, this bottom out around like $5, but it's $5 for Vampire Fraulein. And for the longest time, I think a lot of YuGiOh players forgot that she doesn't really just like help out vampires. Once again, her effect is a blanket effect for zombies. She's a zombie honest, and she's really fucking good. When a monster does attack, you can special summon this card from your hand in the defense position. You're going to use the effect of Vampire Fraulein once per turn. Once per battle, if a zombie monster bows an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can make life points in multiples of 100, max 3,000. Your battling monsters gains that much attack and defense during damage calc only at the end of the battle phase. If this card was destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card from the graveyard to your field. It's a really highly underrated card, and I think with the new zombie structure deck, it kind of like shines a little bit. Once again, this guy's playing at 3. You see a throne over there. I think vampires actually might show up at YCS Pasadena this coming weekend, or was it next weekend? I think it is this weekend. Nevertheless, I think this card, this vampires and not vampires, zombies in general, will actually make an appearance. And besides this card, we actually might see this Vampire Sucker down here. No, oh, here it is. We might see Vampire Sucker go even more higher in price. It's currently spiked high in value. It looks like it's stabilized, but it's at 13, hitting almost at $14 for Vampire Sucker. Once again, another generic used vampire zombie card. Vampire Fraulein, Vampire Sucker, both generically used for zombies, cleverly named vampires. I think Konami really kind of tricked a lot of YuGiOh players. And then Konami turned around and released a structure deck, which is evidently good. Top the jump. I mean, I think we're not done seeing zombies do more things, or zombies in the meta. I think we're gonna see this come out of nowhere and see cards like Fraulein actually go a little bit higher in value. Definitely Vampire Sucker go higher in value because of a structure deck. So once again, I think going back to it, I think the community has their answer. They just have not seen it, or have not expected this to be their answer. So it's really interesting to see what happens with that. Up next, I want to talk about a couple of cards. Bingo Machine Go is now $30, so went from like 40, now it's at 30. It's going to have a price where it's going to go lower in value. But look at Photon Orbital. A card that was like $7, $8 is now hitting near $20. It's really spiking high in value. Blue Eyes Cash Dragon is still about $10. It's worthless, and Simone is about $4. It's where it's selling right now. But yeah, Photon Orbital is $20. That's fucking from left field. And Bingo Machine Go obviously is a card that just spiked down in value. I know there's a lot of hyper anticipation about that card. Magic Musketeer supposedly shows it's stabilizing in price trends. Market price going to be $11, but we're seeing over here at $15 for Magical Musketeer Kaspar. Now listen, he is. I've been telling everybody to buy the Kaspar. I'm telling everybody to pick it up. They were like 6s all day long. They're more than doubled in price. They're about 15s now because of the new link, which is an amazing link. Here's where I get a little weird on you about it. I don't think this card is a good hold right now. And let me explain. You see, we have not got the new link. The only thing we've gotten information-wise, the reason why this card went up in value is because we got news of a card that will be soon coming out in the OCG for their Magical Musketeers or Magic Bullets. We have not gotten that card. We don't have no idea if that card's even going to make it here. We're still waiting for Cherubini, Crystal Needle Fiber. With that said, $15 for Kaspar is a good sell price, and I would recommend you selling this card because the hype will die back down and its value will die back down. With that said, I will have a Magical Musketeer deck with file, as well as my Pendulum deck with file. I keep forgetting, but I'll have that coming up, those videos coming up on my channel soon, and you guys will be able to see my builds of the deck as they currently are in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Magical Musketeers a lot. I just don't know if they're good enough to play against an FTK deck. Well, is they get like a summon on board? I don't know. It depends. Up next, Infinite Impermanence. Going back up in value, obviously because of YCS Pasadena. Its market price is showing to be about $9. It's about $87 over here, but when you go for first edition, yeah, first edition is about $95 for Infinite Impermanence. Now, if you're a Yu-Gi player like me, you're holding a $95 Infinite Impermanence. Like, that's the thing about Ultra Guys. Like, in my opinion, and once again, this is why I talk about this card, Ultra Guys is a cheap, definitely high-end tier deck as a core, okay? As a core, it's dirt cheap. Just take out Infinite Impermanence and the hand traps, and if you're like me, you play evenly matches. Alternate Guys is dirt cheap. It's the cheapest deck in the game, but you need Infinite Impermanence. You can run Lost Win, you can run Breakthrough Skill, but you need Infinite Impermanence. It's the card that's going to make you play in your opponent's turn. It's the card that's going to shut your opponent down. It's the needed card. And I think we're obviously going to see all the guys, in my opinion, hopefully, possibly, biasly, take this YCS at YCS Pasadena. Ultra Guys has one of the best chances of stopping the Pendulum FTK. It has the best all-around matchup against almost every deck in the meta. Evenly, the deck that was a pain in the ass for Ultra Guys, being True Dracos, is not seeing much play. I think Ultra Guys has the best matchup for YCS Pasadena. Up next, guys, so about Strikers real quickly. You got Engages over here at $41. You got Mecha, Widow Anchors over here about $20, $22. And Strikers actually going lower and lower in value because of Fear the Banlist, because all that jazz. Here's the crazy thing about these Strikers. And I was saying before that I kind of like 40s. It's going to drop lower. You see, after YCS Pasadena, there's no reason to hold Strikers at all. Unlike Ultra Guys, where it's like, okay, the money card's Infinite Impermanence, which goes in any other deck, which obviously is going to be viable, even though Ultra Guys was slammed to the ground in the ban list. Strikers are going to be good. They're going to be used, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to want to play them. But with the Fear of the Ban list coming out, they're not going to buy them. In fact, after YCS Pasadena, they're going to be selling their Strikers. $40 for Engaged, it's going to go lower in value. Then it goes lower in value. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, we eventually get our bans, and hopefully, December 20th. November 20th, not December 20th, Konami. But hopefully this happens. And what happens is, we get our first regionals post-ban list, and Strikers are still topping. Look at the OCG. They're still doing things in the OCG. And what's going to happen is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to turn back around and go, oh, yeah, I forgot. This deck is fucking stupid no matter what. And then they're going to pick up Strikers again. I think Strikers are going to bottom out in value, and they're going to be the hottest pick. I'm going to constantly make videos talking about them, just throwing it in there nonstop to let's keep you reminded that this is the deck that people are going to be throwing away in the trash because of the ban list fears. Post ban list, if Engage and Widow Anchor both go to 2, the deck is playable. The deck is not only playable, the deck is still tier 1, and I highly recommend you pick this fucking deck up. Now, once again, I say wait for the ban list, and when we wait for the ban list, there's going to be a lot of things coming in the ban list when we get it. I think we're going to get some hype cards, ready to control constructs, we're going to catch Emperor Dragon, and everyone's going to be focused on those. Those are the look over here cards, like Super Poly was a look over here card, and even some Cyanide was a look over here card. And what happened? They did fucking nothing. But Strikers, that's the real money. That's the real gold mine that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are not going to be looking at, and these prices are going to be cheaper because of the people selling after YCS Pasadena and the fear of the upcoming ban list. This is the shit you need to look at. This is shit you need to focus on, and I highly recommend you get on top of this shit. Have this fucking page saved, because the minute that ban list drops, and I see 2 Engage, 2 Widow Anchor, and even 1 Terraforming, I'm buying back into this deck. This is my baby. It's just, I'm not really good at this deck playing it, but I fucking love this deck to no ends. Is anyone like that besides me with Strikers? Like I love this deck, I'm just trash with it. Like, that's how I am. I have it over here somewhere. That's my backpack. But that's how I feel like with Strikers. And, yeah, I just think it's going to tank in value, though, before that happens. So keep a really close eye on this card. Thunder Dragons. I keep saying it, and I'm just going to throw that through real quickly. Thunder Dragons will definitely have a spot in top tables. They're definitely a phenomenal deck. Colossus is busted as fuck. I've thrown it out there to every Thunder Dragon player watching my video right now. Here's where I get a little twisted on you, though, bro. Your deck is expensive. Your deck's one of the most expensive decks in the format. And unlike Alta guys, where the non-core cards are money, your core cards are money. We're getting Special Edition coming out next month, and we're getting a Banlist. Do I think your deck's going to hit with the Banlist? Absolutely not. You're clear for the Banlist. I'll give you the green pass right now. You're most likely, with Konami, you're most likely clear for the Banlist. But you're getting limited edition versions of Colossus coming out soon in the future. Not only that, your deck has a huge problem. Your deck has not won a major event. Your deck, you could talk about regionals, sure. But your deck has not taken the YCS that we thought it was going to. I thought it was going to as well. I'll join you on that party, even though I think my Ultigeist was the best deck. It's God mode right now. But I thought your deck was going to be the shit. Post Banlist, Dun Dragon's not going to be touched. Striker's going to get hit, and people would think that deck is dead. And if you're a good Dun Dragon player, if you're good enough to know what Striker's going to do, you're good enough to know that with the Banlist hit, if Strikers are still hit at 2 and 2, they're still going to come after your ass, and they're going to tag you pretty hard. If they're fucking fully banned, I'm talking like ban engage, then Strikers we could talk about them being dead. But I don't think that's going to happen. With that said, I think Dun Dragons is still a phenomenal deck. It'll still take top tables, but you're literally gambling with this deck. You're gambling the fact that your deck's still going to be relevant within a month when we get the unlimited versions. We all know that's not going to happen. Your deck's not going to be the best deck, period. There's going to be other decks that are going to be tier 1 that are the non-core components are the money, but the core is cheaper than yours. So it's up to you if you're holding Dun Dragon right now. It's a beautiful deck. It's gorgeous. I love the way a deck plays. Your lures are +3. It's fucking amazing, but not good enough to play against the current competitive meta. And I don't think it's good enough compared against to be played against as dominating for its price point against the next tier meta. This deck's roughly around $1,000. It's just not worth it. Gokis, Dark Gokis, Goki variants. Hey, I play a Goki card in my deck. Cool. Let me talk to you guys real quickly. I think Gokis are going to be doing a lot of cool shit. In fact, I think Gokis will also make the top tables. Obviously, they're a phenomenal deck. Gokis have the ability they're like the roach during the fucking nuclear explosion. They're going to hit in the bands and they'll go, okay, we're still going to do silly things. And they have. They definitely proven themselves to be an amazing deck. They're the first deck to really abuse Firewall Dragon. To like fully abuse it to the point where every Yu-Gi-Oh player knows Firewall Dragon because Gokis taught them, whether playing the deck or losing, what it does. With that said, I think Gokis and ISO, for that matter, is obviously going to be going lower in value. She's about a $20 card. She's going to have a super rare reprint come out next month. Her price is spiking. Most decks are playing now one of them, and they're using like Summon Sorcerers. Another card's going to get reprinted. It's going to go down in value, though. With that said, I think Gokis is a great deck that has a huge problem. And its problem is that it's been hit shotgun so hard on the face with the Banlist, another shotgun might kill the deck. I wouldn't be surprised if the next coming Banlist kills Gokis. I also wouldn't be surprised, not only the next coming Banlist kills Gokis, but Goki players should stop playing the deck because they want to focus on other decks that are just a little more consistent and are fully unlocked. Whether it be Thunder Dragons or most likely Alta guys. Now, I'm not saying they should go to Alta guys, but we're seeing Goki players start playing cards like Infinite Permanence, the same that Alta guys plays in. We're seeing them play Evenly Match, same that Alta guys plays in. These will happen to be the money cards. In fact, they basically need an Alta Guys core, which is dirt cheap, and they can play Alta Guys. And that is if Gokis was to get another Banlist hit. Do I like that? No. I personally think Alta Guys needs to get hit in this Banlist. I think the deck needs to die because the deck's getting new support. And I think Alta Guys with the new support, or even without the new support, just running into the next meta is too broken. I'll be the first to say it. I love the deck a lot, but I'm not going to bullshit myself or bullshit you guys. I think Alta Guys needs to die on this Banlist. Even though I love the deck to death, just thinking about it right now, it will control the meta really well. And I mean, Konami's trying to push new product. Can't push new product with Alta Guys, which they already made the money on with the 2018 Megatins and the other original prints of Alta Guys. So I think it should die. Now I'm thinking about it. It might be a thing. Who knows? For hand traps, Ghost Ogre might make a reappearance. Looking at the ulti Ghost Ogre, that bitch is like $80. That's insane. You get the other versions for cheaper, obviously, but the ulti is whatever you want to talk about. But the cheaper version is super rare. It's about $10, $11 over here. Drone Lockboard, another card that helps stop the FTK. Yu-Gi-Oh players aren't crazy about it. Price trends is going lower than market price. It's about a $45 card. Looking at the OTS, they're 18s all over the place. 18s is over here, actually about 16s for the rare, but for the most part, it's about $18 for other versions. as well, but the OT is about 45 roughly. It might go up in value because of Weiss's Pasadena, and also because of the FTK. I think after the FTK format dies off, and we're done with, hopefully with this Banlist for the FTK, errata firewall. Like it's not hard. Errata firewall, everything's clean. We're good to go again. Nevertheless, I think that drone lockboard might get put to the side for now. Will it come back? Absolutely. Unless Konami makes a mechanic that just shits on hand traps, which I mean, they really dug a pretty deep hole with these hand traps. It's gonna be hard for them to dig out, but they can. They've done it with other kind of stupid game mechanics. I think that drone lockboard will eventually come back to the meta, and its price will obviously rise from that. And the last thing I'll talk about is hidden summoners. So we don't know much about prank kits. In fact, we have not seen much about prank kit decks. We have not seen much about what they do. We have not seen prank kits. Nobody really bring out prank kits into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part. And the prices are reflecting that. Hidden summoner boxes about $58. The most expensive prank kit is $7, and they're dropping. They're all dropping fast. The thing about prank kits is you get this motherfucker who's $3. And he's normally 6 to 8. I was talking about him. You get like Goza Match, Mario Warlords, other cards that were just really high in value. Like Hidden Summoners has the spicy cards, and they're, I mean, a little bit expensive right now, but they're gonna be going low in value. But like, yeah, these cards, the highest rarity versions, are gonna be in Hidden Summoners. Hidden Summoners is like another non-core set that has great value. It has insanely good value, and I think you guys should check it out. Super Rare Thunder. This trash. I get the stick with the ultra rares, better version. That's Tatsunoko. I was talking about the other day. Why isn't Coral Dragon? Don't do that to me. Why isn't Coral Dragon going up in higher in value? Is they get a reprint? I felt like that card should be more money than what it is. I don't like that card, but I think it should be. Prep gets yet another reprint. This is like the third time looking at this, and every time I look at Hidden Summoner set, I always just like go, well, they could have added more cards that were not this, but it feels to me like Konami's kind of inadvertently promoting fusions and rituals, but not doing it super hardcore, which is really weird to me. Nevertheless, guys, I think Hidden Summons is still a great set. It's obviously not the set you want to buy cases of, but you definitely want to crack these packs to get some of these cards. Ryu goes in, and this motherfucker. You want to get these 3 cards. Like, you need them. You want to RO90s if you can. I'm not even joking, by the way, because this is the highest rarity that we're going to have. And most likely, Konami's not going to reprint Manju for a long while. They're not going to reprint Ryrie. They're not going to reprint Gozen for a long while. Or let's say they don't reprint one of these. I was about to do that. Okay, let's say they won't print one of these. And let's say they don't reprint Gozen. And we get a couple of years where Gozen's actually still a good card, because the card's amazing, by the way. Or Ryrie, or whatever it is. Or Manju. Their value will go up in value. That's what happened. And they go up higher. That's what happened with Manju when he came out originally. When he came out in the Secret Forces as super rare, he was less than this price. He was like $1, and nobody cared about this card whatsoever for the super rare Manjus. And yeah, no, he kind of did things in the market. He still kind of has some value in the market, but nobody's gonna buy these. By the way, like the time this Manju was gone already. Even though DT still has value, it's kind of crazy. I still think the Secret Force super rares. It's nice. I think it's a good rarity, but this is basically what we're getting. We're getting a reprinted version of this one, and I just don't know. If you guys should be selling all your Manjus, I think you should be holding them, because once again, Manju goes in a rivalry. If it's not one of the 3, or not 2 of the 3, if it's all of the 3, it's all value, and I would definitely take these and hold these to the side. Excuse me. But that's what I think, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching my video. I guess this is a market watch meta analysis. I guess I'm gonna say probably title that video. Oh, the question. Okay, so I had this question real quickly, and I just want to answer as fast as possible for you guys, because I don't want to waste your time. But the question really is simply, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? Now, I got a lot of answers by asking this question. People telling me that they'll continue doing their job. No, they won't. People telling me they'll do this. They'll buy a company, and anything work related, I just don't see it happening. I think you have all the money in the world, you don't need to work anymore. But at the same time, I don't think that, because I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the people that would work. But thinking about it, if I had all the money in the world, I'll answer this question for you, because it's a really long question. Because you got to realize, you have all the money in the world. You go, I'll go jet skiing. That shit will get old quickly. It will get old. I'll go to a bunny ranch. It probably will get old. I don't know. Anyway, doing something you do for a long while will most likely get old. My answer to that question, I think I would, honestly, truthfully, play card games. I think I would play all the competitive card games at the top tier levels. I would try to get in the Magic Gathering Pro Tour. I obviously have my Yu-Gi-Oh invite, but there's still AOG events, Pro Play Games events. There's the YCS events, and there's the all Konami exclusive events in the locals. I would do all that shit. Dragon Ball Super, they're having nationals in Columbus. I'm debating on going to it today. Nevertheless, I keep saying that word. It's a pretty cute word. Anyway, I would go do all those events, once again, ARG, Pro Play Games, as well as these regionals, national championships. I might even get into Pokemon, get a little silly, and play a Pokemon deck. Malamar, Garuzma. Anyway, I play that deck. I think I would do that, and that's something that wouldn't die for me, because every game is different. Every game evolves. Every set comes out and changes the meta, and it's always something to work for. And the only really end game is winning the whole event. And to be honest with you, even if you win the whole event, it wouldn't matter, because I'll give you a little pop quiz. Who was the Yu-Gi-Oh national champion from 2012? Let's go with 2014. Who was the national champion for 2014? If you can answer that, good for you. Majority of Yu-Gi-Oh players don't know that. And if you can answer that one, great job. Who's the national championship 2008? Don't Wilkie it, motherfucker. No one really knows it, because you're the national champion for a year, if that. Media's moving so fast that everything doesn't matter, and you want to continue to grind on that. And I think that's something really cool. For Magic the Gathering, it's the same thing, except you have money. Not that, once again, you have all the money in the world, it wouldn't matter, but you want to have all the cards, you want to have your deck in the nicest rarity, playing the highest end event. That's what I would do. That's probably what I would do with all the money in the world. If I had it, I would probably get a bigger house, buy my wife and kids whatever they wanted. Not that they don't really want anything. They want, my kids want iPads and shit like that. That's all my boys care about, because they like that stuff. Playing Roblox. My wife doesn't care, as long as the kid's happy. I would probably get another dog, but that's probably the only thing I would do. Oh, handball court. I'll have a handball court in my backyard, because I fucking love handball. Fucking jail tennis boys. Anyway, I would love to read your comments, what you have to say. What would you do if you had all the money in the world? I greatly appreciate, and that's a real question, by the way. I've been thinking about this question for like 2 weeks, because my first thought was, I would do the card store, and I instantly thought about it. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that shit. I wouldn't need to do the card store. Why? It's fun, but I'd rather just go to a different card store. I only do the card store now because it's a job that I like, and I have another reason, which I'll explain in hopefully in about a month. I gotta see how everything goes. I'm really working towards something, and I would love to talk about it in about a month. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. Hit the like button. And guys, have a great day. Good luck if you're at YCS Pasadena, Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals, or wherever you are.